Hello, folks. Welcome to the Mindset Artistry Podcast. I'm your host, Dave DiPaolo. Thank you for joining. This is episode number 5. Today, we're going to talk about being all in or nothing and how you should not negotiate your standards and your success. Okay? But first, this is episode number 5. I just wanted to bring something up. I was reading a statistic the other day that most podcasts out there, actually 44% of the podcasts ever created, have less than 3 episodes. So, look, this is episode number 5. Little small victory, little small win. We're going to keep going on this, but celebrate for a second or two, and then we jump back in and get back at it, just like everything else in life. So, back at it. And so again, what I want to talk about today is being all in or nothing. It's funny, I was a big Star Wars nerd growing up, and I finally have my son watching the original ones. Up until this point, he's only been watching kind of the cartoons and that kind of stuff, but I got him to watch The New Hope, and we got halfway through The Empire Strikes Back the other night, and we're going to finish that up. But one of my favorite quotes and moments in all of Star Wars is, especially in Empire Strikes Back, it's actually my favorite episode, but Yoda is talking to Luke, and Luke says, I'll try. He's trying to get his X-Wing out of the swamp, and Yoda says, no, try not, do or do not. There is no try. Man, that is some powerful shit to come out of Star Wars when you're a kid, because it is so damn true. You don't try. You're doing it. Your mindset needs to be that you're doing it, and that is it. You're not trying. Trying opens up the idea that you may fail, that you may not be able to do it. It's not having the confidence in yourself to be able to get something done. And even if you are going to fail, you have to know in your mind that you're not going to. You have to know in your mind that I'm going to do this and I'm going to get it done. And that's a lot of what we're going to talk about today. And, one of the biggest things with this is, you got to be all in, but you got to stop negotiating these things, these daily things that you do or that you want to do. You got to stop negotiating with yourself, because when you start negotiating yourself, you start to fail and you become okay with it. So I'm going to go through, a few different things, examples of this. And then, I'm going to just talk about what this actually does for your mindset and how important this is for your mindset. Because, here's the thing. I really like this topic because, it to me, it was probably the strongest, I guess, tool or formula to improve my self-development, to get better, to have more success, to kind of just open my mind up to more things. And I talked about it before, finding your why. That is super important, and that why is what keeps you grounded. And, aside from that and maybe gratitude, this to me is probably the most powerful one. And then I'm going to explain to you why. And when you make this switch, when you have this mindset shift, it's almost like a light bulb going on. Turning that on, and it just opens this up to you, and then once you understand it, you can start applying this to so many other different things in your life. Okay, so my first example is, and I've talked about this on prior podcasts, I like to wake up early. Okay, I get up early when no one else is up, and I get a lot more done when I'm unbothered, and I can get totally focused and start my day off in the right way. Okay, so here's the thing with that. Before it used to be, I'm going to get up early tomorrow. I'm going to get up early the rest of this week, and then I could sleep on whatever, Friday, right? That's not how you do it, okay? I get up at 4 a.m. every day during the week. That is the time that my alarm goes off. On the weekends, I shut my alarm off, and I'm generally up between 4 and 5 a.m. just because my body is so conditioned to do that. But here's the thing. Once you make that decision, I'm getting up at 4 a.m. every day during the week. That is it, okay? There's no leeway. There's no negotiating it in the morning. Oh, I'm just going to hit snooze, and I'm going to sleep another 15 minutes. I'm going to shut this off, and I'm going to wake up at 5 o'clock. I'm going to reset it up for 5. You know what? When you do that, you failed. You lost. And when you have that mindset that that's what you're going to do and you're going to negotiate this with yourself every single morning, you are going to fail and you are never going to do it. Okay? The thing with me is my alarm goes off at 4 a.m. That is it. I am out of bed. There's no thinking about it. There's no, hey, I'm going to lay here for a minute longer. There's no, oh, I'm going to reset my alarm clock and hit snooze or do this. When you do that, you are telling yourself that it's okay to lie to yourself. It's okay to let yourself down. It's okay to fail. And now all of a sudden, that goal that you set, that thing that you tried to put in place that you know is going to make you better and make you get the things done that you want to get done in a day, you're saying that all that stuff isn't important because I want to stay in bed for another 10, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and totally mess up your sleeping pattern, by the way, because when you go back to sleep and then you jolt out of it again without a full process of sleep, you're going to be tired the whole entire day. But that's a different story. You can look up that yourself. That alarm clock goes off for whatever time you promised, and that's important here, whatever time you promised that you were going to wake up, you get up, and that's it. It's not negotiable. You get up, and that is it, and that's how you live your life. This is who you are, and I'm going to talk about that a lot. Once you do this, once you have that mindset shift that this is what you do, this is who you are, I get up at 4 a.m. That's my edge. That's what I do. That makes me better than other people out there. You know why? Because I know other people aren't doing it. I know other people aren't sacrificing. I know other people aren't doing the things that they don't want to do every morning and shaping their strength and their mind and all these different things to make themselves better. This kind of stuff gives you an edge, okay? So this is just one example, and I'm very passionate about this because I see people do this all the time. And when I talk to people, well, what time do you get up in the morning? Oh, well, I got to be at work at 8 o'clock and I get up at 7:30. I'm like, oh my God, like you're living in complete total chaos for a half hour trying to get your stuff together so you can go to work. And really, you could be setting yourself up for a winning all day if you just gave yourself the time and didn't live in this, perpetual state of chaos, right? So again, it's important to me, and you could tell I'm very passionate about this, but I'm more passionate about people understanding that these things have to be non-negotiable, because when you start to negotiate them, you let yourself down, you break your word to yourself, and you tell yourself that it's just not that important. Your goals, whatever you're trying to do, just aren't that important. And that'll filter over to everything else that's going on around you, okay? So waking up at the right time and at the time that you promise yourself is just one of them. But another one's your health, okay? And this is a big one, your diet. And I hate even calling it a diet because a diet implies that you are dieting and cutting things out and like you're on some like weird like eating, relish only or something, other crazy stuff that I've heard out there. But whatever you promise that your eating habits are going to be, what your lifestyle is going to be for eating, and that has to be non-negotiable, okay? So if I say, all right, for the next 30 days, I'm going to do the carnivore diet, and that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to eat. And then one day a week, I have a cheat day and I can eat what I want. That needs to be it, okay? That's it. And I've done this wrong myself. I'll have my cheat day on Saturday, and Sunday comes, and I go to a party, and there's pizza there, and you do it again, right? But I've also had it where I've been very strict and disciplined with this, and it's a lot more effective and a lot more important to your mindset that you do it that way. So whatever you come up with, and make it obtainable, right? Like, don't just say, hey, I'm just going to eat, just this one thing and that's it. Like your body isn't going to be able to handle that, right? So you may have to incrementally work your way in to specific, dietary changes that you want to have. And it's going to be a lot more difficult to do that all at one time overnight, cold turkey. So whatever you're looking into, keep that in mind. But I really had a lot of success with the carnivore diet. I liked the way that it felt. I like the way that I felt. I like the way that it made my body feel, my recovery time feel. I like the way that it made my mind and my brain feel. I wasn't as foggy and tired. And so, I do that most of the time now for the most part, because I already got through the hard part where I said I'm going to do the carnivore diet for a month straight, and I did, and I loved it. So now I'm kind of dabbling with that with a little more whatever, like paleo kind of stuff or some other days. But you need to make sure whatever you agree upon for what you are going to do as your eating habits, that you actually follow through with it. Because again, if you break your word to yourself, if you break those promises to yourself, you're telling yourself that it's just not that important. Your health is just not that important. Whatever your fitness goals are, your weight loss goals, whatever it is, you're telling yourself that's just not that important. I'd rather be, eating bad and doing this and blah, 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 blah. And, you're just setting yourself up for failure at that point, and then you're never going to actually do it. This goes for your workouts too. If you say, hey, I'm going to work out at least 5 days a week, okay? You can work out 6, you can work out 7, okay? For me, my goal is to work out 5 days a week. Generally, I am working out 7 days a week, but I know that 5 days a week, I have to do that. On top of that, I have a chart. And my friends used to make fun of me for this, and that's fine. I don't care. I don't care what anyone thinks. I have a chart of the things that I'm going to accomplish in 1 week, okay? I'm going to go to Muay Thai twice this week. I'm going to lift weights 3 times this week. I'm going to do 300 minutes of cardio this week. I'm going to do 500 push-ups this week. I'm going to do 500 sit-ups this week. And you mark all that stuff down, and you check it off every single day. So now you're getting a sense of accomplishment, and you're keeping yourself accountable, keeping yourself on track for the week, okay? But whatever that is, make that promise to yourself and make sure you do it, okay? Not that the next day comes around and you're just a little too tired and you say, I'm not gonna work out this week. I'm gonna work out 4 times this week. Well, you know what? Again, you just told yourself that your health isn't important. Your fitness goals aren't important. Your word to yourself just is not real. You are going to stop trusting yourself when you keep letting yourself down and lying to yourself and not doing these things. So if you want to start working out, maybe don't say I'm going to work out 5 days this week. So starting off, I'm working 2 days a week. I'm going to incrementally work myself up as my body becomes more conditioned and I can take these exercises and workouts more. Again, go into this stuff with the right plan, but know eventually, hey, by August, my goal is to work out 5 days a week, and that's what I'm going to do, and that's it. So, when it comes to health, that's one of the things that most people break their promises to themselves more than anything, the food that they eat and their workouts. And really, once you understand how important that is and doing it the right way, it's not just your health. This also affects your mind also. My workouts that I do, the different things that I do, they're more valuable to my mind than they are to my body, and that sounds crazy, but when you can have the discipline, work hard at something, do something that's difficult, do something that is hard to do, challenging, that hurts, but you do it anyway, you're telling your mind that you can get through a lot more other things in life, okay? So this works on a lot of different levels. So your health is super, super important when it comes to this, and it has to be non-negotiable, okay? You can't negotiate these things with yourself and kind of, slip off of it here and there and do the things that you want to do and say, oh, well, I'll do it tomorrow or I'll start Monday. I'll start Monday or I'll start tomorrow is the biggest fallacy in life ever, and we do that in so many different things, and health is probably the biggest one that we do that with, okay? So keep that in mind, okay? Another one would be bad behaviors, okay? So if I talked about this before, if you find yourself wasting a lot of time, maybe you're on social media too much, maybe you're, you're binge watching things on Netflix or some other streaming platform, and you see the amount of time that you waste on something. Maybe you're consuming the wrong content. Maybe you're listening to and watching negative things that put you in a bad state of mind and give you a negative outlook in life, okay? Maybe, you lose your temper too fast. Maybe you Maybe it is your eating habits. Maybe that is one of your kind of bad behaviors that you have, and you're an emotional eater, and every time you get upset, you reach for something that you shouldn't eat. Okay, these things, all of them, and all the ones that I just talked about, same idea here. They have to be non-negotiable. You can't go in and out with them. So if you turn around and say, hey, I got to stop wasting time, well then remove the apps from your phone that are the ones that waste your time. That's it. Go log in on the web when you actually really want to check it. Make it harder for yourself, right? But if you see you're wasting your time on social media all day, well, take it off your phone and then say, I'm not going on this anymore. I'm doing a digital detox. I'm not going to use social media for the next 2 weeks. And then maybe that leads to a month or whatever it is. But it needs to be non-negotiable, okay? If you say, hey, I'm not watching the news anymore because all I see is all these bad things and it pisses me off and it puts me in a negative state of mind and my whole rest of the day sucks because I'm in such a bad mood, stop watching the news. Say, hey, I'm not watching this anymore. That's it. And it's got to be non-negotiable. Stop these behaviors. Stop them dead, okay? If you're losing all your money gambling, stop gambling. That's it, okay? And this is going to lead into a new one, and this one another one, and this one's going to be hard, a lot harder for people. Addictions, okay? Whatever it is. Smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol. And when I mean addictions, I mean like you're abusing these things, okay? You're drinking 5 days a week. You're smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. You're drinking, 18 cups of coffee every day, like whatever, right? Addictions are harder to break, okay? That's obvious. Like there's rehabs, there's different places, there's different techniques, there's hypnosis, there's all kinds of different ways that people try to break addictions, and that one's going to be a lot harder for you. But the advice I would give to you on this one is going back to what I was saying earlier, is having your why, having a reason why. I'm not smoking anymore because it's going to kill me and I want to be here for my family, okay? I'm not gambling anymore because I lose all of my money and now my house is in foreclosure and I can't do this anymore, right? So you got to find your reason why you need to stop these things, and then you need to do everything in your power to do that you need to do to stop these things. If it means seeking professional help, then that's what you need to do. But you need to figure out how to stop these things. When you break these addictions, when you stop having these, negative coping mechanisms for your life, and you get those things out of your life, you will live better. Plain and simple, and look, I get it. No one ever says when they're a young kid, hey, when I grow up, I want to be addicted to drugs, right? Bad things happen. I get it. People go through tough times, but you have to understand that that's not the path. That's not the way life should be. There's other things that you could focus your attention towards that will be better for you in your life, but you got to find those why. You got to have your reason why, or else you're never going to stop those behaviors. So that's as far as I'm going to go into that, but that's real. That's real life. I've seen it. I've seen it with family and friends. I've seen certain addictions with myself, actually, and I understand it, okay? So get the help that you need if you need it, and stop doing these things that are going to hurt you and hurt the people around you. Plain and simple, okay? So that's just some examples of things that need to start being non-negotiables in your life. Things that you need to be all in on, or it's going to be nothing, because you're going to keep failing if you're not all in on it, and you're going to maybe dabble here and there, and you're going to have, maybe a good week or 2 weeks, and you're going to go fall right back to it until you make that switch in your mind that this is non-negotiable. It's yes or no. I'm either doing this or not doing this. I'm going to do what I say. I'm going to keep my promises to myself. I'm going to keep my word to myself. And here's the last part of it. I'm doing all this, and I mentioned this earlier, because this is what I do. This is who I am. Okay? That needs to become who you are. Okay? And then with that comes strength, comes confidence, comes knowing that whatever it is that you set forth to do, whatever it is you want to accomplish, whatever your goals are, you can do them because you've done all these other things. You've done all the right stuff. You've changed all these bad behaviors. You've made that shift. You turned that light switch on. You said, hey, this is what I'm going to do, and this is why I'm going to do it. And now I'm doing it, and I prove to myself that I can do it. I prove to God, if you're religious, that I can do it. I prove to the people around me that I can do it. I'm unstoppable, right? That's it. This is what I do. This is who I am. This is part of my character. This is my persona. This is everything that I hold to in value and standards of myself, okay? And then when you do that, you respect yourself more. The people around you respect you. You understand that, hey, whatever I say and promise to myself, whatever that word is, I'm going to keep it because I know this works. I know all these other things that I changed in my life made me better. This technique works. This process works. So I can apply this to anything in my life and it's going to work. Okay? That's what it's all about. So when you get all these things and you make these changes and you make them non-negotiable, they become wins. Okay? They become a bunch of series of wins that you have in your life that you can look back at and say, I did this, I changed this, I made this happen, I told myself I would do this, I proved them wrong, I proved to myself that I can do this, and now you can do anything. Apply that same logic to anything that you want to accomplish in life, and you will be able to do it, okay? That's why this is so important. So, stop negotiating with yourself for these things, these bad behaviors, these promises that you know will make yourself better. Just do them. Turn that light switch on. It's yes or no. Stop negotiating it. This is so important for your life. It's so important for your mindset. It's so important for your success. Okay? So, look, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This is something near and dear to my heart, and this is something that has helped me so much. And if you do this, if you make this switch, if you make this change, it will help you too. It is inevitable. No one has ever changed bad behaviors in their life to get better and done all the right things in their life and not gotten better. And look, it's a long journey. These things aren't going to happen overnight. You're not going to do this and then all of a sudden, next week you're rich, okay? But these things that you do over time are going to continue to mold you and make you better so that it's going to get you to that place where you want to be. And it will. You have to have patience. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it. But when you do it, it will make you better. Plain and simple. So that's it. So thanks for everyone for joining. Thank you for joining the Mindset Movement. Thank you for tuning into the Mindset Artistry Podcast. We are going to continue to keep going. I love doing this. I love helping people. I love telling stories of things that I have done that have gotten me through hard times, that have gotten me to level up in life, that have gotten me to much greater success in life. And I know that if you do these things, it will help you too. And that's why I'm here. That's what it's all about. So if you like this, please share. Also, if you feel like this can help anyone else, have them join the Mindset Movement. Also, I love comments. If you can go on there, tell your success stories underneath my posts, follow us on social media, whatever it is. I want to hear what people are doing. I want to hear how people are bettering themselves. I want to hear maybe something that I don't know. I want to hear something that maybe I can look into to make myself better. So that's what it's all about. That's what this all, this personal development journey is all about. That's what the Mindset Movement is all about. And when we're all here together to help each other, we can't lose, we can't fail. So that's it. Thank you everyone for joining, and I will see you next week.